This is breaking news.
Big Read Confronting Singapore's need for foreign manpower and talent amid its aging and shrinking workforce. Singaporean, one of the toughest balancing acts that successive Singapore's leaders have had to manage over the decades is to bring in foreign talent to the country while mitigating the inevitable tensions that come with it. Way back in the 1980s, founding Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew had already spoken of the need to bring in skilled foreigners to spur Singaporean workers, and of the importance of expanding the talent pool given the country's small population. Some 40 years later, when Singapore was on the cusp of leadership change last month, both the then incumbent Prime Minister and his successor would also broach the thorny issue. Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, in a media interview before handing over the reins to his deputy, Mr. Lawrence Wong, described managing the inherent tensions between wanting social cohesion and bringing in immigrants as the most difficult issue he has had to deal with during his 20-year tenure as Singapore's third Prime Minister. Mr. Wong, who assumed the premiership on May 15, told The Economist Weekly in an interview on May 6 that while Singapore welcomes foreign professionals, it will be carefully managed. Because if it is not controlled, I think we will be easily swamped, he said in the interview. In recent years, the manpower and talent issue in Singapore has taken on an added urgency as the nation grapples with the double whammy of falling birth rates and a rapidly aging population, which will add up to a drop in the number of working-age adults. Singapore's total fertility rate, already dwindling since 2018, dipped to a historic low of 0.97 for 2023. The fertility rate needed for a generation to replace its preceding one is 2.1. At the other end of the life spectrum, Singapore is poised to become a super-aged society by 2026, where 21% of its local population is above the age of 65. By 2030, this number will grow to 1 in 4. Despite such statistics pointing to the country's need for foreign manpower, many Singaporeans are still not convinced by the need for such a huge foreign presence, making the issue a perennial political hot potato. In fact, some political observers even felt that the foreign talent issue contributed to the watershed 2011 general election, which saw the ruling People's Action Party, PAP, losing a group representation constituency, GRC, for the first time. Since then, the government has introduced a slew of new measures, or enhanced existing ones, to address Singaporeans' concerns over foreign manpower. These include tightening control over the inflow of foreign workers, protecting citizens from unfair competition, and building up the local talent pool through training and international exposure. But the at times heated chatter over foreign talent and manpower simply refuses to go away, as can be seen from media reports, online discussions, and parliamentary debates. Political analyst from the Singapore Management University, SMU, Eugene Tan said, "The harsh reality about immigration is that once the immigration genie is out of the bottle, it will not be easy to put the genie back in the bottle. Efforts can be made to assuage concerns, but there are limits to what can be done," added the associate professor of law. Politics aside, businesses, economists, and recruiters who spoke to Today agreed on the economic need for foreign manpower. Foreigners are actually useful, especially in certain high-skilled areas where there are just not enough Singaporeans and not enough time to train the Singaporeans to take advantage of the economic opportunities, said labor economist Walter Thassira. Nonetheless, economic and political observers pointed out that the impact of bringing in foreigners goes beyond dollars and cents, and feathers have been ruffled due to social reasons too. They cautioned that further tightening supply or being even more selective in the foreign talent that the country brings in may not be most feasible, as it would risk creating a shortage of skills and blunting Singapore's competitiveness. As such, to soothe the feelings of unease and unhappiness among the citizenry, the government and other stakeholders will need to address factors that go beyond jobs, such as making sure that Singaporeans feel their needs are sufficiently met in other aspects of their lives as well. At the same time, some experts said, Singapore must also be mindful of one thing. It cannot take for granted its ability to attract such foreign talent in the first place, as adverse global business and geopolitical conditions in recent years are making some companies rethink their placement of staff or business operations here.